Good morning. My name is Sick and Tired. And yes, I know you're jealous of my microphone. So it felt really weird, like holding it yesterday with my actual hand and up to my face. So I decided to use a Starbucks straw and clip it on. And I don't know what's more appropriate than me having a Starbucks straw as part of the microphone. It's perfect. So today's video, as you probably already have guessed it from the intro, we are going to be discussing childhood trauma, something that I haven't done as much as I would like to on this video. I would like to make it a weekly thing. Also, if you would like, you can follow me on Twitter at samfireandblood, where I will be posting daily questions now for you to, if you'd like to answer them and share. They will be different topics every day. The very first post that I have is actually a comment that said that it was okay if I use the comment. And I would like to do that with these types of videos as well. Any of your submissions I would like those to be the very first things that we talk about and discuss. So this comes from Gabriel Pacheco, 6383. When you said, let me know down in the comments, I can share them in another video if you would like to talk about it, or we can keep it private. It's completely up to you. I started tearing up. You have such a soft, calming voice, and it really makes me smile. Also, the meme at 6'11 is so relatable. Okay, that makes me smile. I don't know what meme he's talking about, but the TikTok at 9:48 about ADHD is really relatable for me since my stepmom is the only other person in my family diagnosed with it, and not a lot of others fully understand what it's like. I definitely binge eat to avoid my problems, and both my parents were morbidly obese when I was younger. Although I didn't start doing it until I was 17 and was really skinny before. I'm 21, but I have a side of me that acts like a little kid, and it helps with my depression and PTSD more than anything else. Can I please share it? It's perfectly okay if you say no. What you said here really hit me when you were saying you're 21, but you act like a little kid still. That is an actual medical condition. And it is one where people like us that have suffered from severe childhood trauma, you lost your innocence at such a young age. And so you're trying to take it back. And I actually suffered from that too. Thank you so much, Gabriel, for sharing. Today's video, we have Reddit childhood trauma and we also have Reddit PTSD, which I will probably get a little bit more of my stuff from after this, because I learned that the childhood trauma is actually supposed to be about funny childhood trauma, like movies and TV shows. And now I feel really bad because I've been using it for childhood trauma, but I must not be the only one that thinks that because that's where I have been getting all of my stuff. So I will try to honor what that subreddit is for, and probably move on to more specific types of mental illness from here on. JFC Brower says, not everyone who has PTSD has served in the Army. True. Let's not take away from those who have served, but that is true. I have post traumatic stress disorder, and that is from the traumas of when I was younger, not because I ever served. Seriously, I heard this so often. You don't have PTSD. You're too young to have served. Well, excuse me, Karen. You must have way more knowledge about PTSD than my psychologist and me together. I'm sure you know me better than I do. I must have been lying to myself this whole time because clearly there's only one type of trauma in this world. Ah, who knew? Yeah, it's true. I think there's probably a higher percentage of people that suffer from PTSD that have served than those of us who haven't. And just screw those people that say that. They have no idea what's going on in your life. Heidi Trismegistus. A cow down the road from me is helping me work through my depression and PTSD. I recently experienced a violent trauma that left me feeling hopeless. I had to move. Cowfriend is close and I see him every day when I am driving or going for a walk. He is a beautiful young Jersey. Cowfriend is very sweet and moves back when I talk to him sometimes. I was out taking pictures of him tonight. While I was getting pictures, his owner drove by. I learned his name, the cow, is Mason, and I am allowed to feed him treats like apples and slices of bread. I am so happy about this. Something as goofy as a cow gives me hope. Mason is truly something special. I wish that anyone struggling right now can find at least a small shred of hope and hold on to it tightly. Hope can come in unexpected places. I love this. I love this so much. It's like an emotional support animal. This makes me so happy to see. It's not goofy. It's what you need. And I'm happy that you found somebody something, Mason the cow, that can help you through those really down times. Tri State Girl, I remember it constantly. Yes, this is going to hit home for me because, yes, I do too. Unfortunately, you kind of live with it every day. You just learn to live above it, but it never really truly leaves you. I think about my childhood trauma constantly. It wasn't even the worst physical abuse. I know a lot of other people have suffered worse. I was able to graduate college and I do work, although I need a better job. The memories have always raced in my mind. I couldn't concentrate in high school because of them, but it happened in middle school too. I was born in 1993 and grew up in Connecticut, so my trauma comes from the time between then and 2011. My dad is bipolar, my mom is normal so far. We live with my dad's parents. His dad died when I was like 3 or something. His mom was around for my whole adulthood, and she was mentally ill too. My dad wouldn't get a real job, and if my grandparents hadn't given us an apartment in their house, I don't know where we would have been. Ugh. My dad hit me a lot, pulled my hair, slammed me into walls. Sometimes it was spankings, but my family didn't call it that. To be honest, spanking is a weird term. Anyways, I was hit on the butt, but it wasn't for doing anything wrong. My dad would just get all in his head. It was way too hard even when it wasn't just spanking, and he would violently pull my hair too. My mom would sit there all sad, but she never stopped him. My twin sister would try to beat him up. I'm very, very sorry that that happened to you. And I'm very sorry that your mom wouldn't stand up for you. If it's any consolation, I know what you feel. I know I've been here too. Sometimes it was just violent hair pulling. Sometimes he hit me on the leg. He slammed me against the car window once too. Sometimes he pushed me. One time when I was 16, he attacked me really bad. He was convinced I was going to hurt my sister, and my sister had to beg him to stop and explain his bipolar was getting to him. We were seriously just at the kitchen table joking around. He slammed me into the wall harder than usual and was hurting my arms. I felt like I was dying, like actually dying. My sister and I were crying really bad. She convinced him to stop and he punched the wall. He put a sticker over it. My mom came home and said next time something would be done. I'm going to assume nothing was done. I'm hoping I'm wrong. When I remind my dad of the story, he sometimes insists I was 12. He also tried to say he didn't hit me all the time or pull my hair a lot, but he did. Yeah, they do that. They try to gaslight you later on. Do you think they do it on purpose? Do you think they know and they just, you know, they don't want people to know they're a piece of shit? My mom claims she is sorry for it all, but she only said this after my sister and I confronted her. This one is hurting so bad. This one's making me so angry. The only time she called the cops on him was because he was angry with her. You just fucking nailed it right there. Yes. That was the only time my mom ever called the cops, was when he started finally pushing her around. She never stood up to him for me or my sister. I was the more abused kid. He loved my sister more, but we both hated him. I've told my mom I know she was really okay with it. She'll say she's not, but she never stopped him, and she was okay with the kid who never spoke. My dad hated women. He blames us for the randomest stuff. He was nasty and seriously thought he could do better than my mom. A man who wouldn't work. He wanted a sugar mama, I think. That was my dad. Sometimes there were good moments, but the abuse only stopped because of his diabetes getting worse. I told my family a bit as a kid. It made me feel bad, but my grandma insisted I wasn't having those feelings. My dad tried to justify it, and my mom just was just there. I wish I would have been more open in telling someone at school. I was afraid of what would happen then. But I think maybe it would have been better. On the flip side, I considered the off chance if I was taken away only to end up in an abusive foster family. I don't think I would have been taken away, but you never know. I also not sure any teacher or admin would have helped. But we don't know, do we? We don't know because we never said anything, because I didn't either. Every day the memories are there, sometimes for a moment and sometimes all day. I have spoken to my dad before. He gets mad and claims he is sorry sometimes, and not sorry other times. He says I have to let it go. My mom says she is sorry, but I have pointed out she let it happen. I have a better relationship with my mom than my dad. Yes, they are still together. There's nothing else to do sometimes but post to Reddit anonymously. I know that can bring out the internet trolls, but there's also people who can relate. Thanks for reading. So, I just want to start off by saying that I'm so sorry that that all happened to you. I really am. And what helped me kind of get better was realizing that it's done. It's over. There's nothing that I can do to change the past. And there's nothing you can do either. You can scream at them until you are blue in the face. They're never going to change. Trust me. They will not change. They never do. I can blame them for everything that they did to me in terms of, the abuse, the dreams they took from me. I can blame them for that, but I have to let it go because if I don't, I'm going to keep banging on this door that is never going to open. Let me take a minute to collect myself. I can be very emotional when I talk about my past. I always like to say that you are never going to get over it in a way, really. You are going to carry it with you forever. But you have to what I mean by what you have to get over is you have to get over the fact that they're ever going to admit they're wrong because they won't. I'm sorry that you are thinking about it so much. I don't know if you mentioned that you're talking to a therapist, but you absolutely should. It really does help. I would not be here today without the help of my therapist. If you are watching this, I don't even know if you are. I want to hear back from you. I want to know about your progress and I want to know what's going on. If you don't mind sharing. Tri-State Girl. I'm gonna try to reach out to her because I really want to know where she's at right now mentally because it sounds like we share a lot. Abby Sisme, feeling invalidated by my parents. I don't think this counts as trauma, but it's definitely fucked me up a bit and I would love some advice or insight. Well, I'll try. In my early 20s now, and I have recently been craving attention while also feeling extremely insecure. As a child, I was very sensitive and emotional, now diagnosed with ADHD and anxiety, and my parents constantly invalidating my feelings by saying I was just trying to get attention. Oh, the old just trying to get attention. There were many times that I was not trying to get attention. I was truly upset about something and needed the comfort of a parent, only to be dismissed by a comment like this. And as for the times I actually was trying to get attention, this was clearly a need my parents were not meeting. Yes, I was just going to say that. Even if you were doing things for attention, that's because you weren't getting attention. You were getting neglected. Skipping to when I was in high school, I was extremely depressed. My friend group ditched me, and I felt like everyone at school hated me. Looking back, this was not true, but I felt so unloved and disliked at the time. I remember one night just sobbing on the floor next to my mom. She listened for a little and then told me I was being ridiculous. All I wanted was some empathy and for her to give me a hug or hold me. She was never a very physical touch oriented person, but I really needed to be held and hugged. This is something I longed for to this day. Oh my God. Anyway, now as an adult, I've been noticing in recent weeks that I want attention so badly, whether from my friends by posting online or from men I meet on dating apps. I don't like this feeling of craving attention, and I want it to stop. Any advice on how to heal my inner child and or feel validated and loved and listened to? Not sure exactly what I need, but I feel like there's something missing. I wish that I could say I knew what to do in this situation, but I'm going to have to turn this one over to chat because I don't know what you would do in this situation where you are craving attention and that you need it. You need to have this need met, and you don't know how. My first idea would be to just try to find like minded people that have similar backgrounds and situations that you had, and then maybe you can just meet some really good friends. If all else fails, a therapist. I always fall back on that. A therapist will always be there to listen to you, and they actually have the right advice to give you. And I'm very sorry. So this person, a little bit of a rebel here. I kind of like this. This person's just venting. They're tired of it. Watch Her Face said, "Fuck forgiveness." And we have all been here. What is with this unhealthy obsession people have with forgiveness? Why do I have to forgive every wrong done to me? You don't, babe. You don't. Why is it that if I can't forgive, I can't move past it to them? Why do they think that because I can't forgive, that I'm always thinking about it and brooding resentment? Why can't they just accept that I've been hurt? I will never forget what happened, and it doesn't mean I am dwelling on it and creating resentment in my heart. My intrusive thoughts are not proof that it is constantly on my mind, and that it's a sign that I need to just forgive and forget and move on and heal. This weird obsession with healing is not healthy. Okay, well, that I would not agree with. Sometimes there is no healing, there is only managing what's left. I think that you can say that managing and carrying the weights that we had and still having a very successful, productive, happy life, that is healing. Even when you've healed, you still have scars sometimes, but it doesn't mean that you're still, yeah, like you said, brooding over it. Sometimes there's never resolution. Sometimes the person who's been hurt decades, the pain is not worth it. Why is that not acceptable? Why is it being a coward? And fuck you for telling me I need more patience. Amen to that. I've been too patient my entire life. I don't have the capacity for patience anymore. I am in constant pain, physical and mental. Why can't I be allowed to say enough? Why am I not allowed to have a break? I need a vacation from this pain, but there is no leaving it behind. I love your rant. I want more of these. I want the real side of the bullshit that we went through. All right, and we have our last one here. Boswick93 says, looking for support, a community for childhood trauma. Well, Boswick93, hi. That is exactly what I am trying to do here. This is the whole foundation of what my channel is. In the future, I would like to do Trauma Dump Tuesdays and Thursdays where I go live in the evenings, and everybody's welcome to come and just talk about all of the issues. It doesn't matter what kind of trauma it is. I might do themed ones. I'm not sure yet. Just a bunch of different ones that I personally can relate to so that I could talk to people and actually know what I'm talking about. And then, yeah, just come and just like a big support group where we can all just hang out and talk about things and probably cry a little too, because I cry very easily. Probably Mondays always are at least going to be Twitter days because we do need to laugh a little bit. We can't just be talking about this all the time and be sad or we'll go crazy. So I got big plans for this channel. So I'm going to wrap it up. Again, if you would like to share your stories, you can do so right down in the comments, and I can share them in a different video. Also, you can join me on Twitter. I really am trying to make Twitter happen. If you want to post things for Twitter days that are a little bit more goofy and silly or unbelievable, but also I will be doing daily questions where you can feel free to answer and go in as in depth as you are comfortable with or not. Whatever you want. So that is all I have for you today, my little witches and warlocks. I hope you have a really good rest of your day. Have a very good weekend. And until next time, I hope your magic is strong. I hope your symptoms are low. Bye, loves.